Welcome, everybody, and we are here back with another edition of Real Boxing with Coach Ronnie Shields.
Boxing Source proudly presents Real Boxing with legendary fight trainer Ronnie Shields.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, that's right. Here with another edition of Real Boxing with Coach Ronnie Shields. And of course, I couldn't do this without my tag team partner, as they say, whether it's, Booker T and Stevie Ray, or, what I'm saying, Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, or whatever it is with the Hart Foundation. It is my guy, brother Joseph Herron of Warweek Boxing. What's going on?
Well, actually, I was thinking maybe we were like Akeem and the One Man Gang, or what was it? What was it?
Or maybe Akeem and the Big Boss Man, the Twin Towers.
Yes. Yes, that's what I was thinking. It was more like, brother. But I tell you what, this is my favorite time of the week, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. As always, very thankful to have this time here every single Tuesday with the legend himself, Coach Ronnie Shields. What's going on?
It's going good, man. Going good. Working.
Yeah, hey, I know, man. I know you have a very, very busy gym out there. This time around, there's a number of fights here coming up here pretty soon, particularly in June and July. So you definitely get your guys prepared for them.
Oh, no doubt, man. No doubt.
Yeah, for sure. So that being said, man, we got to get right to it here. So, of course, with it being on this show, I got to do it. Yeah, I got to do it this way. Hey, ain't time for no ducking the dodge nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
Woo!
Yeah. So here we go. All right. Here we go with number one. David Morrell Jr. is not worried about the knockout ratio of Imam Katayev because Katayev will be too slow on July 12th. Fact or fiction?
Well, that's definitely a fact.
Yeah.
I've been studying this guy a lot, and he's one of these guys. He just comes forward. It seems like he got a lot of power, but David is longer, stronger, and just simply better, I believe.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we see that Katayev has had a couple of recent bouts here, and they said about him potentially having something scheduled right before this bout, but we know that ain't gonna happen. No. So so we see him like he's had, of course, the majority of his fights over in Russia, around the same amount of pro fights as David Morrell Jr., but nowhere near the level of competition as David Morrell Jr. So it's one where we're gonna see David Morrell show up and show out there on July 12th at the Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens. You gotta go
Wait a minute. That's gonna be in Queens.
In Queens. Yep. Yes.
Yep.
Ronnie, your thoughts about that?
Oh, it doesn't matter, man. I mean, we got to take care of business. No matter where it's at. That's where we got to
go. Well, at least it's not going to be on the other side of the world. 9 hours away. That's a huge advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
But your thoughts, I mean, look, against David Benavidez. And it was another guy who could punch and who came forward. And did David Morrell Jr. has he learned to stick to the game plan that you devise in the gym?
Oh, no doubt. We talked about it, and like always, sometimes, you know, you have to, you know, you just have to let a guy grow. And we talked. He called me up, and we talked. And when he came back here, we talked. And he apologized, and I told him, "There's no need to apologize. We just gotta get in the gym and keep working and get back to the top." And he agreed, and and everything is working out perfectly right now. So we have no, you can't dwell on the past. You have to, look at the future. And this is what we've done. We put the Benavidez fight behind us, and he felt that he's grown from that, and we're going to see on July 12th against this guy Iman Katan.
Yeah, because it's obvious that David Morrell Jr. was the more athletically gifted fighter earlier this year, and it hurt my heart to watch, Coach. It's like it almost seemed like when he landed that left hook at the very end of round 3, was it?
Yeah.
When he hurt him, and it gave David Benavidez a stanky leg on the way back to the corner. It's almost like right after that, the entire fight changed, and he was looking for that one shot.
Yeah. Well,
is that what happened?
Yeah, it happens when you don't have the experience to understand sometimes that normally when David hits guys and that happens, he puts them out. And when Benavidez didn't go out, it changed the story. So, but he understands now. He realizes that everybody you hit is not gonna go down. Everybody you hit is going to be all right. You have to you have to live that life, and that's where you learn your lessons from. So
and just through mutual friends, and he stated this off the record, but I'm going to say off the record, and I'm not going to say who said it, but they said David Benavidez admitted that was by far the hardest he had ever hit, and he was hurt several times in that fight. And he said, "Look, if he had just worked more to the body, he may have probably gotten us out of there." That was from Team Benavidez.
Right.
Tell you what, that's it's going to be interesting to see. And well, look, James, what do you think? What is your prediction for July 12th, man?
I say it'd be, I think it's easy work. It's gonna be easy work. David Morrell, he gonna step in the ring, and we all know that he's a hell of a fighter. And
no, it's hey, what's all work? What's all work?
What's all work? Easy work.
Look, man, we just can't wait to see David Morrell Jr. back in the ring, Osvati, and we cannot wait to see the fruits of your labor on July 25th, July 12th.
12th, yes.
Yeah.
Coach Ronnie. Yep. Yeah, it was easy for me to say, right? Nice.
All right. Yeah, all right. Here we go with the next one on this July 12th card. Here we go. William Zepeda will seem like a formidable foe to Shakur Stevenson, but the fight will be another dub with Shakur cruising to another decision win. Fact or fiction?
That could be a fact. Look, here's the problem. Shakur is just so good that, he's just a great boxer, man. And, it's hard to get to him. And, guys haven't figured it out yet. So until somebody figure it out, it's going to be boring fights. But, Shakur is going to be in charge. And that's the thing. These guys think you just rush in and jump on top of him, and that's going to take care of it. It doesn't. He's a really good boxer. He's not a power puncher, but his skills are, he knows how to use his defense, and he knows how to use his offense. And he can't hurt you, but he makes you miss, and then he makes you pay for it, but not in a hard way. So, so it makes it, it just makes him look so superior over everybody else.
Mm. Well, and yeah, Shakur has that skill set. And when you look at how many times he gets hit, percentage, aside from Dimitri Bivol, he is probably statistically the most defensively responsible fighter in boxing.
No doubt.
Where he only gets hit like 17%.
Yeah,
that's absurd, Ronnie.
Yep.
So that means he's going to have a long career.
Well, I tell you what. So we've got the most stingy in terms of defense, right? Oh, wow.
Looks like he was in the middle of something there. He was talking about that plus minus ratio there for Shakur Stevenson. Yeah. And, with William Zepeda, like he's kind of known for being very active as far as like offense with his hands and throwing a lot of punches. But as we've seen in, his past couple of fights with Farmer, that he, has a tough time trying to, cut off the ring there or have that much confidence in cutting off the ring. So it would be really interesting to see how he does here against Shakur Stevenson, who, just works on, distance with his opponents like all the time.
Oh, no doubt. And that's the way it's going to go. Just Vader, he's going to get frustrated when he can't hit Shakur. And then Shakur just going to pick him apart. It's not going to be a stoppage victory by either person that I see, but I just see Shakur winning a wide decision.
Well, guys, my apologies. Someone's alarm just went off, and it was bleeding my ears while I was trying to. but no. This is a really intriguing fight, though, Ronnie.
No, it is.
Because when you think about it, you've got the most stingy in terms of defense and allowing punches to land against a guy who has probably the highest volume in the division. So which one is going to win? Which one is going to prevail? But I tell you what, anyone who thinks Shakur can't hurt Zepeda, Ronnie, I don't care who you are, even though you're not known for, to be a big puncher, with 8-ounce gloves, those punches don't feel downy soft.
No, not at all. But here's the thing with Shakur, though. He's going to hit you and hit you and hit you. And he may, one of them punches may hurt you, but he's not going to just jump right back in the fire. That's the way he fights.
That's true.
He's not going to jump right back in the fire. He's going to get back out and keep doing the same thing until you make him change it. And then then he changes and make you do what he wants you to do. He'll move you side to side. He'll move you back. Then when you do start coming forward again, he does the same thing. And he counters you very well. And you get frustrated and just start swinging all over the place. And you're not going to touch him with that. That's the way he fights.
That's it. And when you think about it, if you're not there, if you don't have possess that one hitter quitter, then that's the best thing you can do in the ring, right? Is to force someone to fight your fight, right?
Yep.
Well, absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be an interesting evening of boxing.
You can do like Canelo did against School. Hit him in 1 or 2 shots, and the referee and the judges go give you the fight, and you win the fight.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, Ronnie, can you think of anyone else having that kind of outcome besides Canelo?
No.
Exactly.
No.
That's guys, that's downright unfair. That is downright unfair. And just ask Landy Lotta and Coach Ronnie about that.
No doubt.
Hey, and I'll also ask No Doubt Trout about that.
Yeah.
So when that fight looked, and when they announced the public scoring, they had open scoring that night, remember?
Yep.
I was working with Coach with Team Austin Trout at the time, and we couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. We're like, wait a minute. Are we not watching the same fight? It was a blowout on the judges' scorecards. And I'm like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
Boy, the judges sure do like the Cinnamon Kid.
Yeah,
Dang, yeah.
They love it. Still do. Still do.
Oh, jeez. Well, we only have about 2 more years tops of the Cinnamon Boy.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing, Ronnie. Who's going to take up that mantle? I know a lot of people were talking like Ryan Garcia was going to, but it sure doesn't look like it now, does it?
No, not at all now.
Who's going to be the next big star of boxing, sir?
I don't know, man. You know, it's going to be somebody that's going to be a breakout star. I just got a feel that somebody's going to come along and be that breakout star. And I don't know. I thought it was going to be Tank at first, but after the last fight, but we'll see what happens in the rematch against Lamar Roach. What happens there? You know, if he comes back and fares a lot better, you know, and even perhaps stops Lamar Roach, then maybe he can pick it back up and get that momentum going again, you know, because everybody was talking about Tank. So, but other than that, I don't know. You know, I think it's, you know, here's the thing, right? There's so many good fighters out there that we don't get to see.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the problem with boxing. You know, we don't get to see them because, you know, they just hitting somewhere. And, you know, and all of a sudden, you know, it comes to light at some point in their careers. But, you know, if you're not with one of the top promoters, we don't get to see them. You know, and that's the thing that probably hurts boxing more than anything.
Well, as long as it's not Jake Paul, I'm good.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I don't know, Coach. I don't know. Dana White is taking over the sport. Who knows?
Yeah, we got to wait to see on that with Dana White because,
we'll see what happens.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It just makes me nervous. Think about this, guys. The only reason why Turkey Al-Sheikh is handing the keys over to Dana White is because of his newfound popularity, and his chum, Donald Trump, always shows up to his event. Do you think that has anything to do with it, Coach Ronnie?
I don't know. I have no idea, to tell you the truth. That, you know, I don't.
You're pleading the fifth, huh?
I'm not pleading the fifth. I mean, you know, we all know Trump was in boxing at one point.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I think he would probably go to a fight or two. But, you know, I don't think it'd be nothing significant that anybody would even care about. At the rate he's going right now with his presidency, who cares?
Woo! All right, is it time for rapid fire, brother?
Yeah, let's see if we can go through a few of these here with rapid fire. You ready, Coach?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Here's number one. Hotter R&B 90s singer, Toni Braxton or Mariah Carey?
Come on now.
Well, it's got to be Toni Braxton, man.
Yes, thank you. Mariah Carey did on the cover of her first album. Doesn't she kind of look like George Washington?
Yeah.
Check out. Yeah, I said
it.
All right, here we go. With number two, throwback here. All right, Thundercats or Voltron?
Oh, Thundercats all day long.
Yes, thank you. Man, Voltron was for nerds. Admit it, Coach.
Yeah, oh yeah. My kids like Thundercats.
Yes, Voltron was for nerds.
That definitely was an easier pick. All right, here we go with number three. The Whopper or the Big Mac?
Oh my God.
Look, I'll be honest, Coach Ronnie. I'm still waiting for them to bring back the McDLT.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Where they had the hot side stays hot and the cool side stays cool?
Yeah.
I love that sandwich. Why did they do away with that, man?
I don't know, but I'm gonna have to go with the Whopper on this one.
You know what? I agree, man. I love me some Whopper.
Yep.
Big Mac, well, like I said, I really enjoyed the McDLT back in the early 80s. I'm still waiting for them to bring that back. Yet they still bring back the McRib like
Yeah.
anyone likes it. Do you like the McRib, Coach?
No, not at all.
See? No one likes the McRib, but they bring it back every single year. It's always too messy with too many onions.
Yep.
Yeah, I said it. Yes.
Hey, I'm like Rob Bass with this one. I like the Whopper Big Mac.
There you go.
All right, number 4. All right, better 80s song. Easy Lover by Phil Collins or Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel?
That is a good one.
Easy Lover by Phil Collins.
Oh, you forgot to say Philip Bailey, man. Come on now. Come on. Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know,
Yeah.
people only listen to it because it was Earth, Wind, and Fire attached to it. Come on now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Philip Bailey,
was-
man. He was the
when I-
real singer.
He
When I
was.
came up with this one, I thought that it was tough for me too, because I love both of those songs. Man, I love both of them.
Well,
Definitely
look, Sledgehammer, like, I'll be honest, I'm a huge Genesis fan. I'm a prog rock guy. I'm a musician, and I love Tony Levin's bass playing on it. Man, Peter Gabriel, that whole album of So back in 1986 is fire. Every song on it. So, yeah, that's a tough one to me. But I'll
Gotcha.
still choose Philip Bailey and Easy Lover. Thank you very much.
Yeah, real quick, shout out to those in the live chat here, to the Underrated Darkness here in the building, and our guy G Funky Boxing is here with us. Just Do Boxing here, give it a shout out. And we got Smack Like That in the building, and G Funky
Smack
said
like that.
BK had it your way, so he votes for Burger King there, and also says he goes with Sledgehammer. I'm telling you that.
The whole album is great.
What's up? You know what I mean? All right, here we go with number 5. Better 90s NBA power forward, Karl Malone.
Oh,
I'm going with Karl Malone, man.
oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I
Did you
gotta
say
go with
better
Malone.
power forward or bigger asshole?
Ooh. Ooh.
Well, Barkley was more of an asshole in public, but a lot of people really didn't like Karl Malone. They really didn't like him.
Remember that,
Yeah.
dude?
They really didn't. I didn't like Karl Malone back in the day either, but that's because he played the team that he played for. I never really liked. I was a Lakers fan back in the day, so like the Jazz with.
Didn't Karl Malone actually try his hand in WCW wrestling as well?
Yes, he did. He did.
Oh,
did.
jeez.
Remember him with Dennis Rodman? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. And he was
he
tag
was-
partners with Diamond Dallas Page, wasn't he?
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the
Dennis Rodman
mailman, Chingao. Mailman can get the hell out of here, man. I couldn't stand that guy. But then again, I was a Spurs fan, so I hated John Stockton too, man.
Yeah,
That dirty little rodent.
Yeah, I didn't like Stockton either.
Oh man, I'll take Sam Cassell over John Stockton any day of the week, brother.
Oh, me too.
There it is. There it is.
Oh man. Here we go. All right. So here we go with number 6. Better running back, Earl Campbell or Eric Dickerson?
Come
Oh,
on.
that's easy. Earl Campbell, man.
They're like that's not
That's
even
a-
in the same category.
No,
like
not
Earl
at
Campball,
all.
he was like a prize fighter that threw down and went to war every single where it shortened his career.
It did.
But during that career, oh man, you'll take Earl Campbell all day, every day.
All day, every day. Absolutely.
Man, Eric Dickerson, he was so soft, man. We called him Charmin. He looked like, you remember how many pads he would wear out to the field? Like some days he'd look like he was dressed like a mattress going out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this guy is so soft.
Yeah.
Dude, he had pads sticking out everywhere. You remember?
Oh, yep.
Dude,
Earl
Earl
Campbell
wasn't
was,
like that. Earl was a real player. That was a
He was
ball player right there.
Earl
He
was a
wanted to
beast,
get
man.
hit. Eric
did.
Dickerson looked like he was afraid to get hit, man.
yeah.
I'm surprised
He
he didn't
did.
have a voice higher than Walter
Would you,
Payton.
So would you say that Earl Campbell is? Well, no. Let me flip it. That Derrick Henry could remind you of a little bit of Earl Campbell.
No,
Yeah.
no,
It's not.
that's sacrilegious. That's sacrilegious. Earl
It's not
Campbell.
many players was like Earl Campbell.
Look, here's the better question: who was better in his prime, Coach Ronnie? John Riggins or Earl Campbell?
Oh, Earl Campbell, easy.
Earl Campbell.
Absolutely. You know,
In my
look,
opinion,
I
prime
think
to
Riggins
prime.
he took too many hits.
Yeah,
Riggins,
he was like the Arturo Gatti of
he
running
was
back.
he was out there got that running backs. He was. He's the only guy with a helmet on with the face mask with a broken nose and cut up all over the.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say this. I'll tell you who reminds me of Earl Campbell was Adrian Peterson of the Vikings.
Yeah.
The guy who shortened his career almost because he was looking to get hit.
Yep.
Mhm.
He wanted to get it, man. That was
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah.
But if you look at it today, oh my God,
Oh yeah.
it's a sad situation.
Yeah, G Funky. Campbell 6 days a week and twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, compared to Campbell, Dickerson was soft. Baby soft.
He
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
No doubt. No
So
doubt.
there it is, guys. There it is.
Yeah. All right, and here we are with number 7. Better arcade game: Mario Brothers or Donkey Kong?
That's not fair. That's
Donkey
not
Kong.
fair.
I'm going with Donkey Kong.
Wow, that's what started it all, man.
Yep,
Tell you
they
what.
did.
You know, wait, do you mean the original Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers?
The original Mario Brothers.
Oh, see, I never liked that game, man. With
Wow.
yeah, I never liked that one, man.
Yeah,
I was
Donkey
like
Kong
Donkey
all
Kong
day.
Jr. I was like Donkey Kong Jr., Super Mario Brothers. Those were cool.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember Donkey Kong Jr.? I used to love or is it Baby Donkey Kong? Is that it?
Donkey Kong Jr.
Donkey Kong Jr. I used to love that one. But the Mario Brothers, that one I never liked.
Yeah. I mean, they had, both of them had like the same type of, type of play, but Donkey Kong was more of like the more popular one that, people gravitated towards before they had the thing with the NES, though.
Okay, let's see what a diehard video game fan Coach Ronnie was.
Okay.
Did you prefer Tempest or Joust?
Joust.
Yes, sir. There you go. There you go. Woo!
And G Funky, talks about the thing here with the NES with when the Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt double disc there on Nintendo. You had the gun. You know what I mean? You better not miss those ducks or that dog will clown on you.
Yeah, man. The dog turns around and starts laughing in your face. Yeah. Man, I always tried to shoot the dog.
Exactly.
Oh man. Well, you know what? Let me ask you something. Coach Ronnie, were you good? Did you figure out the hack with a pencil on how to beat track and field?
Nope.
Did you remember track and field?
I remember track and field.
Man, I used to love that game, and I never could do it until they put the track ball, and then I used to get past it all the time. But with the pencil, I could never figure that out.
Right.
Yeah, but I used to love me some track and field, man. That was a cool game. That, and do you remember the Star Wars video game?
Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was amazing.
Everybody plays Star Wars.
Yeah. May the force be with you. Gosh, man. Yeah, it was so beautiful.
That's going way back now.
Oh, geez. I used to love that, man. Gosh, those are some great video games.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
James, dude, you're not even old enough to understand that, are you?
For most of them, like, remember, I didn't quite make it through to the Atari, like when they had the 2600 and the 7200s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was before my time. I was the one that was playing Super Mario Brothers when I was 4 years old. Like,
so no, what we're talking about is even before the 2600,
Yeah.
Man, we're talking about going to Aladdin's Castle and all of those arcades. That's all we had, me and Coach Ronnie. We
That's
had to
it.
go to the arcade, and we spent so much money.
Money, we did.
Yep, just stayed there all day, all night on the weekends.
That's it, man.
I mean, I remember back in the day where it was you went to two places when you were a kid, and that was the movie theater and the arcade, and that was it.
Yep. That's
That's
it.
it. It's the only two places you can go. If you was good, that's if you was good.
Yeah, well, we're not going to talk about that, Coach Ronnie.
If you was on punishment, you couldn't go.
We're not going to talk about that, Coach Ronnie.
Yeah.
That's how you got punished.
Chingal. But see, it's like nowadays, girls would never be caught dead at arcades. Back then, dude, girls were always at the arcade. That's why guys were there.
That's
yes. Well, we're not going to talk about that. We don't want to get Coach Shields in trouble.
G Funky says, hey, these were the days before memory cards and you left the game on pause all night. Yep. Either that or you left it on pause to, go ahead and have dinner. By the time you were done, you went right back
to it.
The game.
You didn't have to start over.
Yep. That's right.
Oh, Chihuahua, man.
Oh, that was good. That was great. That was great. All right, here we go. We're gonna get right back into fact or fiction here. Actually, we got a few of them here. So I'm gonna get in with number 3. Even though Edgar Berlanga is highly confident that he will knock out Hamza Shiraz on July 12th, he will have a lot of trouble dealing with Shiraz's jab. Fact or fiction?
That could be a fact. That could be a fact. You know what? I've been thinking about this fight, ever since they announced this fight. And it's hard for me to pick a win out of this thing. Because the way Shiraz looked his last fight, I know he hurt his hand like about the 3rd or 4th round, But as a fighter, he kept on fighting. And how he got a draw, I don't understand it. But, some kind of way they seem like they're blaming on weight. So it's a good thing he's moved up now to 168. And I actually think he's going to be a lot better at the weight because he already had the height.
Yeah.
But the weight, the weight sometimes kill you. And I understand that. So I think he's going to be a lot better at 168. And I think Berlanga might be overconfident going into this because he looked at one fight, which was the last fight, and said, oh, this guy's nothing, But I don't think he really understands that this guy can really fight. So it's going to be a good fight. But, I don't think it's going to be a knockout in this one, though.
Honestly, look, we have never seen Hamza Shiraz at 168. No. But look, it's obvious that his hand being injured, him being at 60 kind of ran its course. He didn't look that great against what's his name? Carlos
Adames, yes.
Carlos Adames.
Yeah.
So we have never seen him at 68. Is he going to have the same power? Is he going to have something that's going to be able to keep Edgar Berlanga off of him?
Let me tell you something, Joseph. In the gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the gym, these guys walk around 190.
Yep.
Okay. So you have to pass 68 to get down to 160. So he still feel good at 168, trying to get down to 160. So that's no problem. But making that 160 weight kills you. And it takes everything.
Torturous. That's 8 pounds, Coach.
And it takes everything away from you. He's not going to have to go through that this time. So he's going to feel better. He's going to be stronger. He's going to be able to eat more than he's been eating trying to get down to 160. So he's going to be bigger, faster, stronger. And he's going to surprise Berlanga. Berlanga, to me, he's an okay fighter. He gets the job done. But, how many of the top guys has he beaten? That's,
none. 0.
Thank you. There it is. There it is.
Look, honestly, if Hamza Shiraz, if Yeah, I think he makes this look easy, to be honest. If he just can avoid that heavy artillery, that hard one shot,
Yeah,
right? If
but
he can,
Well,
here's the thing, right? Berlanga is fighting at home. So he's going to be more confident because he don't want to lose at home. So that's going to make him
maybe, coach,
even better. No,
maybe, coach.
that's going to make him even better. That's going to make him take shots that normally, if he was fighting in Saudi Arabia, he wouldn't be able to take, or he wouldn't take.
That you know
But
what? That's a very good point. Now I'm gonna ask you this though, because I've known some fighters who haven't performed well at home, where they don't like all of the distractions, everyone calling them up, asking them for tickets, all of the distractions of being at home. And some fighters just do not perform well at home.
right,
Do you think that might be the case with Edgar Berlanga?
well, it's going to happen because as long as you're fighting at home, you can always get them calls. And so, that's going to happen. So, if he's a smart guy, he turns his phone off. Simple. The week of the fight, just turn it off.
Coach, does he strike you as being a smart guy?
Oh, so he keeps it on. No, I'm not.
Edgar Hamburger Berlanga. I love it.
I think he will be like extremely confident there. I was watching him there at the press conference last week, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna knock him out within 4 rounds," and "Oh, you got Andy Lee over there as your trainer. Oh, that's a big mistake," and this and that. Like, it's something when you have that much confidence. But as we mentioned, Hamza Shiraz is having his first fight at 168 pounds, yet the odds have him at just plus 110. So it's really close with the odds with Edgar Berlanga. So with all of those fights that Edgar Berlanga had, all of those first round knockouts, the fights leading into the Canelo bout, he's still only at like minus 140.
Right.
So that shows you how much confidence that the books have with Edgar Berlanga.
And that's with him fighting at home. So
Yeah.
I tell you what, I like Shiraz. We'll see what happens, though, guys. We'll see what happens. Hey, you know what, G Funky? Come to think of it, I was talking with him earlier, and he said, "Hey, if you guys do rapid fire Q&A, ask Coach Ronnie this one: better musical, the Blues Brothers or Grease?"
Oh, the Blues Brothers, man.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
Blues
sorry,
Brothers all
forgive
day
me.
long.
Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm too old and I don't remember. But did Grease feature Ray Charles and James Brown?
They did.
Wait a minute, it was the Blues Brothers,
No,
right?
that's the Blues Brothers.
No, that's Blues
That's
Brothers,
right.
That's
So,
Blues Brothers,
you know what?
yeah.
And then they also had Aretha. Okay,
Yep.
well then Blues Brothers, easy, hands down.
Yeah.
That's an easy one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love the Blues. To me, that was one of the greatest movies I had ever seen. The Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers all day long. Yep.
You know, in fact, here's the better
It was so much
question.
fun.
Yep. Oh man, and you don't even think about that being a musical, do you?
No, not at all.
Ah, what a great movie. I tell you what, here's the better question. Who's hotter, Olivia Newton-John or Michelle Pfeiffer? Grease and Grease 2. That's the better question.
Oh,
yeah, that's a close one.
Yeah, it's a coin flip right there.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on from that, guys. I don't want to get anyone in trouble here.
Smack. Yeah, they didn't do a rematch because Adames has to go ahead and have his mandatory. Well, he's due for his mandatory against Nursultanov, so that's why you ain't seeing any thing for a rematch between Shiraz and Adames. But here we go with number 4. All right, Justin Pauldo will be the first fighter to stop Juan Carlos Burgos, and that will make him a top 10 contender in the WBC and WBO. Fact or fiction?
Oh, that's a fact. We're going to get this dude, man.
Yeah.
We have to. We got to go get him. We got to go get him.
Oh, poor Mini Burgos. I almost feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you what, Justin Pauldo, coach, is it safe to say he is exhibiting his fighting prime at this time?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. You know, in the last in the last fight when he fought the former champion, you know, Justin is a counterpuncher, you know,
Mhm.
and I told him, I said, man, you got to get out the comfort zone on this. I said, you know, you can't just box this guy. It's not going to work. You know, I said, you got to put it on him. Close rounds, you're not going to get. I said, so you got to put on this guy. And he listened, and he went out there, and I think he could have stopped him earlier than he did. But,
Mhm.
you know, but he got the stoppage win. And his confidence is so high right now. And he's looking really good in the gym. We have great sparring partners, man, for him. And, everybody's pushing him because everybody want to see him do good. So this could really be his breakout fight, better than the last one.
He had a great performance there against Shavkat Rakhimov.
Yeah,
They're at
Ooh.
the same venue, and
yeah,
I was telling them on Friday. I mean, that was a highlight reel knockout. So he's
yeah.
looking to carry that momentum over here against Juan Carlos Burgos, who has faced a few of the who's who there at lightweight with Devin Haney or Keyshawn
Yeah.
Davis and Andy Cruz back in 2023. So
And this
this
guy's never been stopped before. So
Yep, yep. That's the thing is that I see him getting a stoppage victory here really catapults him in those particular rankings where he's around like number 14 in the WBC or something like that, or around the WBO. But getting a win here will have him climb up the rankings a little bit more on that side.
absolutely, no
You know what I
doubt.
mean? So definitely looking for on that. Well, it said, smack like that said it answered that question there. Greece too, I guess with what Michelle Pfeiffer. So,
I don't know, man. Sandy was
yeah,
pretty hot, man, on the first movie.
yeah,
Yeah, that's all I'll say.
that's a
I think
real
I
tough.
think I think Ronnie has the beat, man. That's neck and neck right there. That's a tie.
Yeah, yeah. So that one,
Dude,
we
Olivia
definitely have to
Newton-John, are
go
you
back.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Olivia Newton-John? Really? Come on now.
All right. Now here we
Even
go.
when she cut her hair, she was still beautiful.
Uh,
Oh, Chihuahua.
all right. Here we go with number 5 in the meat of the evening. All right. Teofimo Lopez is delusional in his belief that he would defeat Boots Ennis if they stepped in the ring. Fact or fiction?
Oh, that's a fact. Come on, man.
Oh, jeez.
He's too
Uh,
small. He's too small
Yep.
for Boots. He's too
Yeah,
small for
Jaron
Boots.
Ennis too big, too talented, punches too hard.
Yep.
too fast.
Yeah.
Too fast.
Yeah.
It's like I remember like being out by their gym, years ago, and this was like one time he was working out, and he was like working out even while dealing with the hand injury, and he would just work with just one hand, and just throw that one hand, and I seen like how fast he was with that. I'm like, oh goodness, man,
Yeah.
he would be real trouble for anybody, and he's the class of the welterweight division right now, and
No doubt.
for them to kind of like even consider it was crazy to me when they originally brought it up last year. Now it's being brought up again this time around, and I haven't like I haven't gotten any more information about it, but there's a little bit of a story with this actually, and that's why it's being brought up. But with that
Right.
being said, we'll get right into number 6. Okay, here we go. Tim Bradley is insane for thinking that Teofimo Lopez has a real shot to beat Boots in fact or fiction.
Oh boy. Yeah, I
That's
think
fiction.
that's right. He is insane, coach.
Yeah. I mean, you know what, man? I seen him do an interview the other day, and he was spot on with what he was talking about. But then he comes with this thing.
Oh, geez.
I don't know what planet he's on.
Oh, speaking of video games, doesn't he look like Hot Bob-omb Head from Super Mario Brothers? Lee Bradley? Dude, he's got that bulbous cranium. It's like, dude, are you an alien or something?
Oh, man.
Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, goodness.
So, James, there's a question for the coach.
Yep. Here it goes. Who would be the toughest challenge for Boots Ennis?
Right now? Oh, wow.
At 47, is there anyone who
47.
challenges Boots Ennis?
Right now, I mean, offhand, I can't think of anybody that can really challenge him right now. I think he's the best of the best right now, really and truly.
So wait a minute, you don't think Rolly Romero? You don't think he challenges Jaron Boots Ennis?
Too small.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has to move up to 54, wouldn't you say, Coach?
He definitely has to move up to 54. He shouldn't even bother trying to be undisputed at 147. I wouldn't even do that. He's so much better at 154.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be so much better at 154 because everybody knows he's had trouble making the weight. 47 is getting just too hard for him to make. So, why should he keep killing his body to make that weight when they don't have to? He's going to look so much better. So much better. He's going to feel so much better being at 154, and and his skills are just great, man. Just great skills.
Yeah, and he's had that conversation with a few close to his camp, and given the current situation there with the welterweight division and the other world title holders, it would take a good while for him to even have consideration to fight either one of those guys. So I think at this point, as you said, it's better for him to just go up and move to 154 pounds and just fight at 154. You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, at 54, did anyone see Boachuk versus Michael Fox?
I didn't see it. I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
Man, my guy,
he came in overweight. He came in overweight.
Well, yeah, but the thing was, they knew that. They knew he was going to be overweight. They worked out a deal to try to have it where Boachuk would come in at, as they say, 154 plus 2, but even was above that.
Yeah, it was like 4.5 pounds over.
So can we finally, guys, jump off the Sergey Boachuk bandwagon now, please? Can we, guys? Can we do that, please?
I was surprised that they had that fight so late. I was like, oh my gosh, jeez! It's like you're gonna have it at 11 p.m. Pacific time. What is going on here?
Wow.
Okay, guys, Blues Brothers. That was directed by the incomparable John Landis, right? Who also did Animal House, right? Yep. So here's another rapid fire Q&A very quickly. What is the better John Landis movie starring Eddie Murphy? Trading Places or Coming to America, Coach?
Coming to America.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, I love both. I thought that was going to be much harder for some reason.
No. Trading Places was good.
Although
Trading
Places is a very good movie, and I recommend people to watch that movie again. If you haven't seen it in a while, I recommend you watch that movie again. But Coming to America is just legendary. So.
Yeah, that's a legendary movie. Absolutely.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I love Trading Places. Mortimer. I love the Dukes, man. It's in my opinion, man. I think those were two just brilliant star-making Eddie Murphy performances.
Yeah.
Good morning, my neighbors.
I love both those movies, man. Those are just classics from John Landis.
Absolutely.
Shout out to G Funky Boxer talking about Tim Bradley. He said he has a lot on his mind. Oh my God.
That's one way of putting it.
Oh man, and here we go with number 7. All right. Manny Pacquiao was correct in what he recently stated about Devin Haney. And boxing is how you entertain the fans. Boxing became popular because of the support of the fans, of the people. Fact or fiction?
Well, it's a fact that because of the people, it's what makes the boxing. So it's got to be a fact.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you something. What accent was that? Was that Manny Pacquiao or was that Super Mario? Chingao.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
It's me, a Mario.
It's me, Mario.
Sorry, James. I just couldn't tell that one, man.
Yeah, I
This
tried
is
it. That was
This is a real problem, Ronnie. Like, think
Yeah.
about this. You've got a guy who's 45 coming out of retirement and saying, yes, you need to do this for the fans. And so it's almost like he's coming out and saying this. Hey,
So-
you know what? Don't ridicule me coming out of retirement at age 45, because I can promise you this. I'm going to put forth a much more entertaining effort than Devin Haney. Well, that's what that does now, doesn't it, Ronnie?
That's exactly what he's talking about.
Ugh.
That's what he's talking about. And this is why these guys come up, because in their mind, he's not 45 or whatever is how old he is. You know, in his mind, he still thinks he's that Manny Pacquiao that we saw years ago.
Well, compared to Devin Haney's last performance, yeah, he might look like it.
Yeah, might be. He might.
That's what that does, though. That's what performances like that.
Brings
That's
people
what
up back
they
up.
do.
Absolutely. It does.
So detrimental to the health of the sport.
Yep.
That's what that does. Ah, it's a darn shame. Darn shame, guys. 'Cause I'm sorry. For my money and for my entertainment value, it's not going to be fun watching a marginal talent, and I mean that, and I'm being nice. A marginal talent like Mario Vargas beat up on a legend like Manny Pacquiao. Ronnie, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know how they can come back. He ain't fought in years and come back and rank him number 5 in the world. How you do that? You know, Money. Absolutely. You know, and it's crazy that it happens, but we always find a way to hurt our own selves in this sport. We do, because Pacquiao, it may do some sales on it, because people just want to see because of who he is. How much has he lost since he's been out of the game? And that's very interesting to a lot of people. So they want to see, but what? Suppose they come back and they stink up the joint, then what? How's that going to make the WBC look?
Yeah. Like they're the ones that, made the push to have Manny Pacquiao ranked there at number 5 in the WBC to kind of, like, as they say, quote unquote, justify him having the shot to face Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title.
But they could have ranked him number 15.
Right, yeah. They could have done that. Yeah, sure. They surely could have. Because it's not like, they have Barrios in a rush to fight his mandatory challenger. Like, they didn't name one.
No, they didn't. So, yeah.
So, yeah, it wouldn't have mattered where Manny Pacquiao would have been ranked at that point.
But the crazy thing about it is, they could have said, okay, Manny, at least have one fight, against somebody in the top 25 in the world, and let's see what you look like and how you fare in the contest. And if everything goes well, then we can make you number 15 in the world and you can fight for the world title. But nothing. They just automatically just threw him in there.
Yeah.
And it's what is not fair is for all the guys that's working their ass off every day in the gym and fighting as much as possible to keep their rankings. And then whoever was number 5 before, somebody had to get knocked out of the rankings in order to get him back in.
That's true.
Right?
Oh,
Somebody had
that's
to get
true.
knocked out to put him back in.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
if you got 15 guys, right? You can't have 2 number 5s. So what you put number 5, number 6 now? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
No.
know.
I tell you what, in that co-main event, we're seeing the big rematch between Seabass Fundora and Timmy Zoo. Coach, what do you like in that fight?
You know what? I've still got to go with Fundora because, Zoo has to fight the same fight.
Yeah.
Not to say he's going to get hit in the head again with the elbow, but still, that's a possibility because Fundora is 9 feet tall, and keep looking down on him. And every time he put his hands up, he go put them down. And every time he come down, what he's coming down with? That elbow.
Oh man. So Joe, he's basically saying that Fundora is like the Giant Gonzalez of the 150.
Oh, dude, you know what? Bite your tongue, man. Giant Gonzalez. Yeah, the Giant Gonzalez of boxing who doesn't have to wear that fake, ridiculous looking suit. Jeez. That was so stupid.
And
wasn't he El Gigante before that?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, jeez. El Gigante.
Oh man, what do we have? In the thing with the WBC and Manny Pacquiao, when you have guys like Suleiman Sissoko, Raul Curiel, Tulane Mbenge, and I don't know who else.
Did you just say Bengay?
No, I said Tulane Mbenga.
No, you said Bengay, and I was about to say since when?
Oh man! Oh goodness! That just tells you. That just tells you
Chihuahua, man.
Who they could kind of come up with as far as like being in the rankings. But yeah, they could have had Manny Pacquiao ranked at 15. It wouldn't really matter, because they were going to have the fight anyway. But with that being said, that kind of like concludes this thing here for Fact or Fiction. So there it is, quick 7 for this week there, Coach Ronnie.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, the only thing got here for a few tidbits is what else is going on in camp. I know that, like we were mentioning, Justin Pauldo has his fight coming up June 7th, right? And we talked about David Morrell Jr. And we also have Chuck Simpson that's going to be over in New Jersey with this fight coming up too. So that's kind of most of the fighters that you got in your camp right now getting ready, correct?
When that Truck, he's in Baltimore right now.
Oh, okay.
He's in Baltimore. Yeah, he's with Calvin.
All right. So he's with Coach Calvin and them, right? All right, cool.
Yeah, because he's fighting the co-main event, and Vito is fighting the main event, and there's no, and I can't be with both of them.
Both of them.
It just don't work. With Cole and Meng. So he went to Baltimore, and he's training up there. So, but that's gonna be a great fight, man.
Yeah. Chuck has real good one there against Jahad Tucker. Tucker is kind of, he was at one point one of those feature fighters there with Top Rank until he kind of made a little bit of a claim that he could try to get with Xander Zayas, and then eventually he had a fight that was coming up and ended up completely missing weight, and that kind of had him on a little bit of a bad side with Top Rank for a little bit. So
yeah.
Now so now we'll see what happens here against Lorenzo Truck Simpson. So definitely looking forward to that. They're coming up on June 21st at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. So that's mostly what I had. I don't know, like if you had anyone else that is getting ready for a fight coming up.
Man, we have a bunch of fights coming up. We got of course, next week in Vegas, I got my Olympian, Joshua Edwards.
Josh
He's
Evans,
fighting.
another
Yeah,
fight.
he's fighting. He's fighting. And, man, we've been going through opponents like crazy. We just got a new opponent today. Hopefully that one stick till tomorrow. It'll be Josh's second pro fight. So
Yep.
he's getting ready. We spawn with southpaws, we spawn with right-handers, because we don't know every time we get one, okay, he's a southpaw. So we bring in a southpaw. Okay, no, he could fight a right-hander. So we bring in a right-hander. So now I'm just saying, man, just bring in anybody. I don't care.
It's like Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Man.
This is our last week of sparring. So, but he's definitely going to fight next week, and hopefully it's on the zone so people can really get a chance to see Josh. He's like I say, he's an Olympian. He looks really good in the gym, and he looked great in his first pro fight, and so we're looking forward to him doing big things. And then after Josh, of course, we got Justin Pauldo in San Antonio on June 7th.
Woo!
And then on June 20th, I got my guy David Stevens. He fights for Golden Boy. He's fighting in California. And my assistant coach, Latrevia Pierce, is going with him to California for David Stevens to fight. Then, of course, the next day, we have Vito Manicki in Newark, New Jersey.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to Vito fight the main event there. And that's going to be a great show there. And then, of course, July 12th, David Morrell Jr. So we got a pretty busy schedule coming up, and we're looking to win every fight, of course, and we know we don't underestimate anybody. So, we train hard, and all the guys are getting ready, and we're looking forward to it.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Okay. That guys, once again, Coach Ronnie, how do you do it, brother? How do you manage that kind of schedule? That's ridiculous.
Being in the gym all day, basically, just that's what it is, man. Being in the gym all day. But when you got good people helping you, it makes it a lot easier, and that's the way it is, man. And I give a lot of credit to my assistant trainer. I was her trainer when she was coming up, so she know everything that I do, and she's been with me like since she quit fighting. She's just been in the gym with me all the time. So she know my style, she know what I want, and and I got this other guy named Mike Hodges. He's also there helping us. So, but we make it work, and that's what it's all about, man. Hard work.
Well, I tell you what, brother. You guys are doing an amazing job, and we're expecting great things for the rest of 2025. Last question from Rapid Fire Q&A, Coach Ronnie. Better 80s comedy, Caddyshack or Ghostbusters?
Who you gonna call?
Woo! Tell you what, I'll take it. Better movie soundtrack, Flashdance or Footloose?
Flashdance.
Oh, only because it featured Irene Cara. Yes, thank you very much. Better R&B group, Earth, Wind, and Fire or the Isley Brothers?
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay, smoothest male vocalist, Luther Vandross or Marvin Gaye?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a tie.
Well, I'm sorry. What'd you say, Michelle? What'd you say?
That's a tie.
You said Marvin Gaye. My neighbor Michelle is listening to.
Oh, okay.
The incomparable Coach Ronnie. And okay, here's one that's going to be tough. Most iconic R&B duo, Ashford and Simpson or Peaches and Herb?
Oh, that's another tie. That's another tie. I can't go against either one of those.
I'll tell you what, most danceable anthem. Yep. Rock With You by Michael Jackson or Got to Be Real by Cheryl Lynn?
Oh, Michael Jackson, Rock With
You. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Greatest R&B love song, Always and Forever by Heatwave or Endless Love by Lionel Richie and Diane Ross?
Always and forever.
Yes, sir. Heatwave wins.
Heat
Woo!
wave, absolutely. Heat wave.
Okay,
doubt.
last one, guys. Better Rick James anthem, Give It To Me, Baby, or Super Freak?
She's a super freak.
Woo! And that's it. Your final bonus rapid fire Q&A. There it is.
Man.
There it is, guys.
Shout out to Captain DGAF. We know what that means. It says, yeah, that's right. Coach Ronnie Shields is working, man. Yep, very
That's
busy.
it.
No doubt.
Okay, here comes a bonus. Better 70s white band, Fleetwood Mac or the Eagles?
Fleetwood Mac.
Yes, sir. Woo!
There you go. That's the fun we have each and every week here on Real Boxing with Coach Ronnie Shields. Of course, I definitely wouldn't be able to do it with my tag team partner, Brother Joseph Heron of War Week Boxing. Here has been a great asset here to the sport of boxing, and a great asset to myself as I continue to cover the sport there. And of course, with our guy, the legend himself, the Golden Gloves Boxing Hall of Famer himself, Coach Ronnie Shields. There we go. You know what I mean? And any parting words there from you, Coach, before we roll out?
Oh, yeah. As always, you can follow me on Instagram at official Ronnie Shields.
So there you have it, folks. We did it just there real quick. 7 factor fictions, and definitely have fun with the rapid fire questions. And we'll be right back at it here on next Tuesday. And so with that being said, I am JR Bell of the Boxing Source. Checking out. I will catch y'all later.
Boxing Source proudly presents Real Boxing with legendary fight trainer Ronnie Shields.